Hey guys, it's Amelia and welcome to my video series all about my 2026 summer residency. During this series, I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm planning on doing it, and hopefully you'll enjoy following along. Maybe it'll inspire you to do your own residency, or maybe it'll just be a fun thing that you can cheer me on while I'm doing all of this work. But before we get started, I wanted to just go over what a residency is. So a lot of times this is geared towards artists that are looking to do something a little bit different than their normal studio practice. But this really is something that can be utilized by anybody for lots and lots of different reasons. The way I like to define a residency is that it is a measured time away from normal life to pursue a specific purpose. So pretty simple, a little bit generic, but that's okay. That means there's so much room to move in there. A couple of the common ingredients for a residency is that it's usually a shorter time, and that can vary. Sometimes it can be a couple days, sometimes it can be a couple weeks, or up to like a couple months. Sometimes people do a residency for like an entire year. It's also very intentional and it's focused time, usually on something that is a little bit more specific and not as like comprehensive as like an entire career type of thing that you might pursue in school. And the other thing about residencies is you're the boss. In most cases, you are the one calling the shots as far as when you're going to work, what you're going to work on, how it's going to be used in the future. And that can be really, really amazing and freeing. It also can be a little bit intimidating. And we'll talk about that in future videos. So one of the things that a residency is not is it is not an addition to normal life. So a residency is not something that you say, okay, I'm just going to keep doing everything I'm doing and then just add this in the evenings. That's not really the heart of a residency, and you'll get super frustrated with your ideas and your goals for it if that's how you plan on doing it. And that's why a lot of times people will actually leave their normal location in order to be able to pursue the things that they want to do during a residency. So another thing it's not a comprehensive study like you would do at school. Say you were picking up a program to learn Spanish, or you're going to be doing English studies, or you're going to learn an instrument, or I don't know, you're just going to learn a whole new trade. In that type of studying in the school setting, you're really bound by a curriculum and it's pretty comprehensive. They, want you to walk out of there knowing how to do many, many things. Residencies are a little bit more, fine-tuned and specific than that. So that is basically what a residency is. Here's my why. My word for the year is explore. And so it aligns so well with this idea of simply being open and curious about different materials, different types of adventures that we can do. And so this really works well with where I'm at right now in my life and all the different things that I'm exploring. I also love the woods. The woods, if I had to put it in a simple phrase, it's where I feel most alive. And so being able to set aside time to be there and do my art practices, sounds like pretty awesome time to me. So that is another thing. I also, as an artist, found that the past residency that I did in 2024 was huge in growing me, not only as a person, but also as an artist. And so since I know that's a great environment for me to grow, I want to do it again. I'm feeling that need to grow and to stretch. Maybe that's part of my explore word this year. I don't know. And then last but not least, but I'm also planning on visiting family and spending time with family. PA, Pennsylvania area is where my roots are. And so I'm really excited to see people again and have my boys spend time with them as well. So like I said, I'm going to be going back to Pennsylvania, and I'll be in the woods. So this particular focus for this residency will be similar to what I did in the past. I'm going to be pulling things that worked really well for me and introducing new things that I'm excited about. So I'll be doing plein air painting again up in the woods. This time around, I'll be focusing on color and color relationships, specific to the environment around me. Whereas last time I focused more on just getting more used to plein air painting and introducing that into my practice. Well, that feels pretty settled. Now it's time to change the focus a little bit and look at color instead. I also plan on doing lino block printing. So that's a different exploration that has happened this year that I'm really excited about. So I want to take this new material, this new process, and see what happens when I combine it with this new environment. I'm also going to be looking at doing more symbol creation. I've been working on creating a lot more symbols in my work that are new to me and are bringing in new meaning to my work. So I'm excited about potentially, creating some new symbols that I can use in future pieces. And I'm also going to be doing some fiber work. This is another one of those exploration, curiosity things that came up this year that a lot of times I just haven't had time in my normal everyday practice to introduce a lot of those things and work out some of the problems and stuff I've come across. Like, how do I glue this? What types of stitches will work best for this? So I'm excited to have this dedicated time to really explore on a deeper level. So my plan for the residency, for this lovely focus that I have, is the next thing I'm going to talk about. This is something that I plan on expanding on in more long form in a blog post, so that I can give you some more details. But here's the nitty gritty and the stuff that I really want you to kind of know from the outset, just for your own inspiration. I'm going to be doing 3 to 4 days of plein air painting in the woods. Early morning time, so like 7:30 to 11:30. And then I'll take a nice break, long break for lunch, then do studio time in the makeshift studio in my parents' basement. That'll be from like 1:30 to 4:30. So roughly I'll be working around 7 hours a day, with a break in between. And then I plan on being done every single day at 5 o'clock. And just spending time with family, resting, recuperating. And also I plan on having my weekends off. And so as you can see through this plan, I have a lot of space for rest, and a lot of space for flexibility. I know that the weather can shift and change. And if you're doing anything outdoors, you have to be willing to move things around for that. And our family plans might change as well. So that's why I haven't stocked every day full of artwork all the time. I want to make sure that I have space to move things around as needed. The other thing you may notice about this schedule is there's a rhythm to it, and a simplicity to it. So I'm not getting super complicated. I'm not introducing something new every single day. The complication and the newness I want to have in the materials and in the art practice, not in the schedule. Another thing that I am planning on doing is combining challenging work with also restorative practices. I plan on bringing things with me from my everyday life that I know refresh me and rejuvenate me. So in my off times, I'm going to be reading really good books that I've been wanting to read. I plan on doing some baking with my kiddo. I plan on going on walks and sitting on the side porch, different things that are going to help restore me and get me ready once again, for the work that I'm doing. So if you're curious about this whole residency idea, or you just kind of want to see more about what it's about, I have a guide that can walk you through how to build your own self-made residency using a lot of this type of thought process that I use around location and intention, and what kind of plan you could put together. What would be your area of interest? So if you want to grab that, that is available on my website as well as in the notes of the video. So please go ahead and you can grab that, fill it out. or, have coffee with a friend and talk about it and see what kind of crazy, group adventures that you could come up with. And thanks again for joining me for this video. Next time, I'm going to be talking about materials that I'm bringing as I pack up my suitcase, and just the practicality of different things, what I'm taking and what I'm not taking. And so we'll see you in just a little bit. Bye.